everybody, it's Mike Frieder here with On-Call Compliance Solutions, and I'm back with another compliance tip of the week. Today we're talking about DFARS, NIST SP 800-171, and CMMC. How CMMC just got cheaper, and why that's a big deal, and it might just be a big joke. So hey, if you're a defense contractor feeling overwhelmed, tired, and alone, trying to understand all this DFARS, NIST SP 800-171, and CMMC compliance stuff, I've got great news for you. You found your home here at On-Call Compliance Solutions, where we can help you transform into your company's on-call compliance hero. So I'm going to tell you right now, first start of the video, this is a really rough script. I took a quick peek at it before I started the recording, and long story short, this is based off of an article that was recently published, and we saw the article and we looked at some of the numbers and we go, wow, I think it's kind of worth doing a little bit of a news update with our audience here on YouTube and in our podcast about kind of what's going on, and providing, just kind of like some commentary on like how the government is talking about pricing and, what it's taking to get compliant and some of the new ways. They claim that they've helped to solve the problem, but, we'll decide together in this video whether it's really helping to solve the problem. So if I start fumbling over some stuff that's written here, it's cool, just hang with me. My routine. It's totally, basically one take, hope it goes good kind of thing, but let's roll. So CMMC, 6+ years in the making, but there's a bright side, right? The DoD is finally working through regulatory free shenanigans. So in case you didn't know, there was an infamous 60-day freeze on all government regulations. Okay, so no new regulations for 60 days. That was the Elon Musk Doge thing. And then Elon Musk introduced from his private sector businesses the 10-for-1 rule, which stated that if you, for any new government regulation, 10 of them had to be repealed, right? So any kind of new rule or thing, 10 of them had to be repealed if you're going to implement one. And CMMC, theoretically was going to get caught up in that, but the reality is it's too important for the defense of our country for that to actually be sidelined. So that was never going to happen. The good news is the final rule just cleared its final edits and is heading back to the OMB, OIRA. Basically, these are the rulemaking people in the government, right? So once they get the law written, then it goes back to the OMB and OIRA offices for it's not final determinations. It's determined. It's basically the rule makers that write it into law. And they have actually stated that they are on their timeline still to go ahead and release this into DFARS late in the summer. So I'm kind of thinking that that's going to be early August or late July. We're here in, kind of the beginning of June. It's really close, you guys. It's really, really close. If you're not on your game right now, and if you need help, you need to call On-Call, all right? We can help you. Time's running out. Now, number 2, the big spotlight is certification just got way less expensive. By the way, I'm going to just call BS on this because it didn't. Let's hear what they're saying about this. So, in a pilot program via cloud/MSP. So, the big takeaway here is that the government's defense companies can work with a managed IT service provider and a cloud solution provider to achieve compliance. Well, newsflash, you really kind of almost couldn't do it without it, right? There's Azure Government and Office 365 GCC High, which I have to be honest with you, we recommend that just a ton to our clients. We sell a slew of licensing, and this is one of our primary things that we use to help people get compliant, especially when they have to do CUI via email. So, I don't know, the government's just catching on to this, or I don't know, but it was, again, in this news article where they kind of did this quote-unquote pilot study where they're saying that via cloud plus an MSP, and they say quote-unquote one brave company went from 0 to 110 controls, which is level 2, in just 2 months. And I'm like, newsflash, we do this in 3 days, at least to get to the point where you're compliant with DFARS and NIST. No, we're not going to have everything implemented, but you're going to know exactly how to do it. And then it's, hey, listen, you can race to go as fast as you want to get it implemented. That would be the CMMC piece. So again, if, 2 months, I don't know, we've been doing that for years, to be really honest with you. Look, and in a lot of cases, we can actually get even the implementation done in less than that. So, and get this, they paid only $1,300 per seat, and their full assessment cost was $32,000. That's what they're claiming is cheap, by the way, and I'm fairly confident this was not a very large company. Look, I'm not going to kid you guys. The bottom line is if you're in the defense industry, 1, you got to go up on your prices, and 2, make sure you factor in overhead so you can make a little extra money for all these efforts that you're putting out, because this is complex, and it's expensive, and there's just no sugarcoating it. But the government thinks that $1,300 per seat is cheap. I think that's a fair assessment. I don't know. But the $32,000 for the assessment, again, it doesn't give any background on how big this company was. Again, I have to assume they're pretty small for those prices. That's a delightful plot twist for small and mid-sized contractors. CMMC certification just stopped being an arm and a leg. It's more like a comfy armchair at this point. I didn't write this, guys. That's like straight out of the article. How did they pull that off? Well, thanks to cloud/MSP partnership, right? About 80 to 90% of the NIST SP800-171 controls were already baked into the provider's platform, a major lift and shift bonus. So what they're saying is, hey, look, go and move your workloads over to a compliant platform like Office 365 GCC High. I don't know, it's weird. We've been advocating that since like 2017, 2016. Then these contractors add the remaining controls via the customer responsibility matrix plus templates and handholding from the MSP. That's like installing an operating system with one-click updates and a user manual. I don't know, it sounds like what we've been offering since 2017. But it's good that the government's caught on to us. Phase-in plan and marketplace on the way. Now this is interesting, right? CSPs like Microsoft, AWS, Google, and Oracle are teaming up with MSPs like OnCall to deliver virtual desktop setups that automatically monitor and protect CUI, even catching it off platform if someone accidentally downloads it, aka they're setting up DLP rules. Yeah. Data loss prevention if you don't know what DLP rules are. The DoD plus CyberAB are also building a marketplace listing these pre-certified CMMC service pathways. Think CMMC on tap. Favorite burger chain offered a bundling option. Get 90% pre-made, just add your own toppings. That's exactly what these cloud/MSP bundles are doing for compliance, saving you serious time, money, and sweat. Question for the audience. This is for you guys. Would you rather pay $32,000 once or $100,000 plus self-managing? I don't know. This question is really weird. I don't know. This guy doing the script must have ChatGPT this or something. Anyway, here's the real question, okay? $32,000 for a CMMC assessment on a small business. $1,300 per seat. Is that reasonable? I think it's reasonable. I think, so the CMMC certification part is really what gets me. I'll be really transparent with you guys, right? Like, we'll get candid in this video because we're having a little bit of fun this morning and I've got some time. Ultimately, I will share with you that to do a CMMC certification, they've made it so complicated that you have to have 3 CMMC assessors, okay? CMMC assessors are 6-figure people, all right? I don't know a CMMC assessor, and I certainly don't have one on staff that's under $100,000 a year. So when you start factoring in the cost of about 2 weeks of their time, because that's about what it's gonna take, right? It's a full week in the audit, it's 110 controls, 320 assessment objectives to get through, and then you've got all the pre and post work that has to be done. You're basically talking about 2 full weeks, all right? You can only do 26 of these a year. And that's like if you work Christmas, New Year's, and Thanksgiving. So like, it's not really 26 a year. It's like maybe you can do like 15 to 20 of them. Guys, we've broken this down in a lot of different ways. The challenge is cybersecurity is complex. There's not that many people that really understand cybersecurity at this high of a level. You're throwing in 320 different aspects of cybersecurity. And all I can tell you is it's just not inexpensive to tackle. It's a really big challenge. So is $32,000 a fair price to pay for a CMMC certification assessment? Right now the answer is yes. You guys know our stance on that. We want to get the price down as low as we possibly can to make this accessible, and we are working on that. We're trying to figure out how can we systematize this? How can we automate pieces of the puzzle? How can we get less expensive people involved, which the CyberAB has made very, very difficult? Can it be systematized to a degree that it can be reliable, dependable, and accomplish the goals for less money than $32,000 to verify you have the right cybersecurity in place? By the way, all you're getting for that's not MET and a MET. So that doesn't include whatever they paid from an internal overhead perspective or a consulting overhead perspective to find said compliance solution at $1,300 a seat and to do everything else that is necessary to achieve compliance. And there's a lot. There's probably, again, they said they did it in 2 months, but there's no way they did that in 2 months without a consultant. So it's not just $32,000 and $1,300 a seat. And then is that $1,300 a seat per month, per year? What is that? So there's a lot more to unpack here. And to be honest with you, I don't really think the report is really being upfront and honest about the all-in cost of this. But all we can do is report on what the government has put out there. So look, here's a reminder. If you're loving this compliance clarity, by the way, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon because more compliance hacks are headed your way, okay? And, again, as more information comes out in the market, as the DoD says more things at conferences that get picked up by the media, as we continue to report to you guys what's going on, I think, personally, staying subscribed is the best deal since sliced bread, okay? It doesn't cost you anything. Just hit subscribe button. Try it now. See, it works. And now you're going to be subscribed to a latest all the latest compliance updates, like in a live stream of commentary on what you really need to be doing to get compliant. So look, as far as the $1,300 a seat, I say, look, give us a call. All right, we can look at your situation. We've definitely gotten clients compliant for less than that, and we've definitely gotten clients compliant for more than that. Every single company has a very unique situation, which is why, honestly, every one of our consultations are completely tailored to the customer. Everybody's got unique needs. If you're a one-person business versus a 60,000 person business, you've just got different needs. So here's the bottom line. It costs nothing to find out how we can help. And I think that is probably the biggest takeaway of all, which is you can call us, all right? You can self-schedule an appointment using one of the links below in the description. You can talk with a certified compliance expert. Every one of our people, like, we don't put non-certified people on the phone with you. Every one of our people is a certified with the Cyber AB registered practitioner above who knows compliance inside and out, and we can actually dive into your specific scenario and figure out what is the most efficient, effective, and cost-effective way to solve this problem for you. Because at OnCall, we take defense contractors just like you who've had this DFARS, NIST, CMMC, ITAR, and EAR information security compliance stuff dropped in their laps like a seagull on a sunny day. And we teach you how to level up and be a proper on-call compliance hero for your company, eliminating gaps, gray areas, and getting this solved, all while showing you how to leverage compliance as your secret weapon to land more defense work with higher profit margins. Now that's what becoming an on-call compliance hero can do for you and your company. If you're looking for more help getting compliant, our compliance experts are always on call for you. Visit cmmccompliancesecrets.com. Check out the description below for links to get help right now. And if you love the content we're putting out here for you, help us out with a big thumbs up on that like button, or even better, you know what to do, smash the subscribe button. Unless you already did, don't do it again because that would unsubscribe you. We only want you to subscribe. Subscribe now. Subscribe button to get the latest compliance content as soon as our compliance numbers roll it out. Until the next compliance tip, my friends, stay safe and secure out there, and hit us in the comments below to let us know what you'd like to know more about when it comes to information security and compliance. I'll see you on the next one.